But they're not alone in the fact-checking realm of things here.
We need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
Oh, great. Some great reset fact checks. Love it.
This is ctvnews.ca, the Canadian outlet. And, Justin Trudeau recently made a big statement about guns, like trading guns in Canada. It was a pretty gnarly statement after the shooting, the Uvalde thing. Didn't he say, like, they're stopping all import and export and trading and... I forget the exact thing.
I don't know.
Did you miss that?
I missed it.
You can maybe look it up. But let's see. The headline for this one is Truth Tracker, analyzing the World Economic Forum Great Reset Conspiracy Theory. So very interesting. Let's see what they say because, the facts, most people, even-keeled people, look at the facts and they go, yeah, I don't know about this Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. Here's what it says. The World Economic Forum's 51st annual meeting wrapped up Thursday in a luxurious alpine town of Davos, Switzerland. Private jets have shuttled the billionaires, global leaders, and business magnates away, yet conspiracy theories about the elite and influential lobbying organization remain. The claim: conspiracy theorists say the World Economic Forum is pulling the levers of world power. Some even accuse it of using or even orchestrating the COVID-19 pandemic to restructure societies in favor of multinational corporations and leftist global elites through a project called the Great Reset. That's not... They always do that, It's like, that's not really the only part that's maybe not exact is... orchestrating COVID-19 pandemic. Like, we can speculate and say that, but they didn't publish. Well, they kind of did. Anyway, it's claimed the World Economic Forum's influence extends right to Ottawa and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government. Roland Paris, a professor and director of the University of Ottawa's Graduate School of Public and International Affairs, says, quote, "None of these concerns are legitimate," end quote. Continued quote, the WEF...
Illegitimate concerns.
Yes. The WEF brings people together for discussions, Paris told ctvnews.ca. Quote, "It may have pretensions as an organization that produces policy ideas, but it has little to no influence on government policy," end quote. In Canada, former member of Parliament Maxime Bernier, and conservative leadership hopeful Pierre Poilievre has repeatedly taken aim at the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset, accusing it of serving a globalist agenda and at the expense of regular Canadians. Quote, "I have made it clear that my ministers in my government will be banned from participating in the World Economic Forum," Poilievre, an Ontario MP, said to Applause in a May 23rd federal conservative leadership campaign video. Quote, "Work for Canada. If you want to go to Davos to that conference, make it a one-way ticket. But you can't be part of our government and working for a policy agenda that is against the interests of our people," end quote. Okay, so you got some conservative leaders in Canada sort of, I guess, stoking the fire of the conspiracy about the World Economic Forum having influence in the Canadian government. Analysis. While the World Economic Forum has long been subject to legitimate criticisms about global inequalities and elitist influence, such critiques were conflated into full-blown conspiracy theories in June 2020, when the World Economic Forum held an annual meeting under the name The Great Reset. Although short on specifics, an article published that month by German economist, engineer, and World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab argued that the COVID-19 pandemic recovery could be used to make economies more sustainable and equitable through, quote, "a great reset of capitalism." Quote, "I think the reason why it attracted so much attention..." Oh, this is a different guy. Sorry. The reason why it attracted so much attention was partially because of the title, The Great Reset, and because it outlined a program. Robert O'Brien, a professor of political science at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, told ctvnews.ca, quote, "I think it was a red flag to conspiracy theorists and to far-right nationalists," end quote. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau then seemingly added fuel to the conspiracy fire in September 2020 United Nations conference by saying the, quote, "pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset and to, quote, reimagine economic systems." Oh, you mean he repeated the lines of Klaus Schwab? Videos,
word for word?
word for word. Videos also emerged online of Schwab praising Trudeau. At Davos 2016, Schwab said of Trudeau, quote, "I couldn't imagine anybody who could represent more the world which will come out of this fourth industrial revolution." Blah, blah, blah. Fingers weird. During a 2017 Harvard talk, Schwab also declared that Trudeau and more than half of his cabinet were young global leaders of the World Economic Forum, a program that promotes promising leaders aged 30 to 40. Other Canadian alumni include Chrystia Freeland, Jagmeet Singh, Andrew Scheer. Quote, "We penetrate cabinets," Schwab boasted at Harvard. So thank you, CTV, for including that quote, because that's the one that gets used all the time when it comes to, hey, I think these guys are trying to control governments, right?
Yeah.
Angela Merkel, Tony Blair, Emmanuel Macron, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Ivanka Trump have also participated in the program. Again, thank you very much. Conservative MP and former cabinet minister Michelle Rempel-Garner was named a young global leader in 2016 and later attended a World Economic Forum meeting in Davos in January 2018. In February 2022, Rempel-Garner responded to ongoing harassment from Canadian conspiracy theorists with an op-ed titled, quote, "I went to Davos. The World Economic Forum is not running Canada." And in it, quote, "The WEF is certainly elitist, but to my eyes, it fell short of being a cabal bent on global domination," Rempel-Garner wrote. Quote, "And as much as I do not support Justin Trudeau, I would wager a safe guess that Canadian electoral politics and personal ambition have much more impact on his policy decision than Klaus Schwab," end quote. So the very person as part of the young global leaders defending the World Economic Forum, no surprises there.
Yeah.
David Black, an associate professor of communication and culture at Royal Roads University in Victoria, BC, described the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos as, in quote, "an elite talking shop." Quote, "Is the WEF a body with intellectual influence and an opportunity for elites to network? Yes," Black told CTVnews.ca, quote, "It is in the business of control. Is it in the business of controlling sovereign governments around the world? No," end quote.
Right.
And I point out the word
it's controlling.
The straw man.
Yes.
Yes.
Straw man argument. The World Economic Forum isn't controlling anything.
Yeah.
They're not writing policy. Oh no, it's just a club that like all the world leaders are in, and they get together and talk about, how they're the future of humanity and the changes they need to make, and they all agree to head in one direction, and they do. But Klaus Schwab doesn't have some sort of authority over them.
He just talked about how he's penetrating governments, and Trudeau repeats his lines. I mean, I'm not saying that they're in control, but certainly influencing.
No, it's a sad attempt.
Yeah.
Who was the one who said that?
This is David Black, associate professor of communication and culture at Royal Roads University in Victoria, BC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotta love the intelligentsia.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, they love it. And it goes through another conservative MP, and they kind of quote him. And at the end here, conclusion from ctvnews.ca. An argument can be made that the World Economic Forum is elitist and detached, but there's no credible evidence it controls world governments. Quote, "The current wave of conservative populism argues that such institutions seek to manipulate public opinion as well as control the wealth and political power of the average person to elites' advantage," Black from Royal Roads University explained. They love this Black guy because he gives them the stuff they want. Quote, "In effect, such institutions are imagined as kind of a secret, unelected government." You are unelected, by the way, people there at the WEF, "and the real and unaccountable centers of power in the world." Well, you are, but okay. Quote, "It's a forum for discussion, No decisions are taken there," O'Brien said of the World Economic Forum. This is a different guy, O'Brien.
You really have to...
Let me finish the last quote here. Quote, "The only people who should be afraid of it are people who are afraid of the exchange of ideas."
Oh,
so there you go. If you're against the World Economic Forum, you're against the idea of exchanging ideas.
Exchanging ideas. It's so funny because it seems so obvious. You read it, and it's so obvious that you're just trying to slither around. But if that is your bias already, that is a rock solid, a bias reinforcing article.
Oh yeah. Because you get to address the strongest arguments that are made, or one of the strongest arguments, in a nutshell, which is the Klaus quotes and all the stuff he said about Trudeau and Trudeau repeating him. There you go.
Sorry. That actually was an accident, but
it was, but it worked.
I'm not sorry.
It is. It is suspicious. The whole thing is suspicious. It works. I'm not mad.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see here. I think it's about time to jump into our first break.
Yeah,
I was looking. Yeah, I was looking. Ghislaine Maxwell is trending again on Twitter, and I was trying to see why, if there's any news on that, because there has not been much news recently. But people are just trying to say, hey, if we paid so much attention to the Johnny Depp trial, why not pay attention to Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, well, it seems like the Johnny Depp thing is for that too. Like, it's not just the distraction, but also the distraction counter distraction arguments
celebrity. It's the wonderful, beacon of light that the moths can flock to. It feeds instead
both sides of the divide and conquer, so to speak.
Indeed. Although it is having an interesting effect on the culture war, as far as the Me Too movement, the Believe All Women movement.
Is a lot of that stuff still kicking, or is it kind of falling apart?
It was reignited because of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial.
And in the sort of pure sense, or is it kind of
no, it's just bringing up those topics.
Sure.
There were some actual sort of Me Too organizations who came out in support of Johnny Depp, because Amber Heard obviously is making a lot of it up. What's so sad? I mean, we have not been following it. We don't really care.
Follow it at
However, it started taking over like all the social media stuff, of course. And so I started watching some videos on it and stuff just in my spare time. And it is really interesting, the effect that it's having on the culture war of the Me Too, Believe All Women type of thing. So the pendulum is swinging as far as that is going. There's some, I mentioned, the Me Too sort of organizations coming out and supporting Johnny Depp, because there was so it's not completely sort of sugary treat, celebrity focused nonsense stories, because there is, the culture pendulum is swinging back that other direction, similar to how we're seeing in a lot of different aspects of culture. So it's not for nothing. It was interesting, but watching all the videos, it is all just entertainment, but entertainment can have some effect on the thing.